the Dominican Public Service Union Auditorium in Valley Road as we celebrate our 46th anniversary of independence. Come, let us look at where Dominica was going and the numerous issues facing the nation while we're enjoying some calypso and traditional music. Meet, greet, discuss, and socialize. It's 5 p.m. Wednesday, 30th October at the Dominica Public Service Union Auditorium in Valley Road. The Electoral Reform Coalition wishes all Dominicans at home and abroad happy 46 years of independence 2024, remembering that electoral reform is key to responsible and good governance.
Want to stay ahead in the world of electronic communications? Then you've got to check out Ectel Bytes, a production of the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority. We dive into the hottest topics affecting the telecom sector, from the latest innovations to the policies shaping your digital future. Tune in to Ectel Bytes on the last 3 Thursdays of this month, October 17th, 24th, and 31st. In the digital world, knowledge is your greatest asset.
If your home and business is in a mess, you need a cleaning agent that not you test. It's the clean disinfect, deodorize, you sanitize. Long-lasting fragrance refreshes your entire home. You're thinking of cleaning chrome and porcelain in polyester and stainless steel. You need a cleaning agent that keeps it real and that's fast. Clean with the best. Not forgetting your clothes, sheets, and all fabrics. Tender fabric softener has the extreme power. Make ironing easier and faster. So clean, clean with the best. This is clean, tender and back. Floors and walls, clean with the best. On the left, kitchen tiles and cabinets. It's the clean, tender, and that distributed by Fine Foods and sold island-wide.
MDC presents the Crayon Cooler Fest, November 3rd. All roads lead to Pegua Bay Riverside for the biggest cooler fest on the Northeast. Live on stage, the Bouillon Specialist, TK International.
Boy, you have the whistle.
Signal Band.
So now we have a good time when we pass it.
Nice.
We outside. Everybody getting wild.
With music juggling by DJ Taffy and the crew, DJ Flip the Boss, DJ Happy, Inches, the Crayon Cooler Fest, November 3rd at Pegua Bay Riverside. Admission is only $40 in advance, $50 at the gate. Band time, 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Come in your best mattress and white outfits, enough drinks and plenty food. It can't be independence and enough it's without a breadfruit. Lots of breadfruit dishes will be on sale. Crayon Cooler Fest, November 3rd. Book that date and see you there. This event is sponsored by Country Style Bakery, Afwawi, Big Shop, Do It Center, Belfast Estate Limited, Archipelago Trading, Josephine Gabriel and Company Limited, Fine Foods Inc., Marigot Credit Union, The Paddock at Pegua.
We were set to battle, and your Aunt Angie was leading the pack when...
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with car damage?
Oh, right. Well, long story long. I took down the assassins and wound up inventing a new form of mixed martial arts. I became an international champion until one sore loser completely took my car. But I was covered with CG United.
Covered for malicious damage and more. CG United. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
This is Asa Banton, your Tropical Water Ambassador, with your hurricane tip for today. Insurance checkup. Ensure that your home and car insurance policies are up to date and covers hurricanes, flooding protection, etc. Be prepared and remember to stock up on Tropical water.
You want to buy drinks at affordable prices? Check GBA. You want some shop for all your parties? Check GBA. We got rum at the bottle and drinks by the gate. At GBA. We can make you live with a smile on the face. At GBA. When you shop at GBA. Located at 106B Independence Street, Roseau. Come back in the ambience of exotic rums and wine shop all over the world. We have a wide range of bounty rum, fundraiser, diplomatico, and so much more. Feel like drinking something fancy? No problem. We got a wide range of wines and the Lecoq cocktails just for you. So come visit us today at 1060 Independence Street, Roseau, where you will come sad and you will live happy. Let us be your agent for sourcing. GBA, let's take it one step at a time because we are the drinking ambassadors of Dominica. Drinks at affordable prices, check GBA. The one-stop shop for all your parties, check GBA. Come shop at GBA.
Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95. The latest happening events, breaking stories, and behind-the-scenes in-depth investigative reports. Stay locked for more fair and balanced talk on The Hot Seat on Q95. The big station.
From the Caribbean News Desk, the morning edition. Good morning. I'm Kendall Morgan.
And I'm Benson Brown with the latest from across the Caribbean.
The Caribbean Community CARICOM says it is deeply concerned by the ongoing differences being played out in public between the President of the Transitional Presidential Council and the Prime Minister of Haiti. CARICOM, through its Eminent Persons Group, says it is monitoring these disquieting developments closely and has engaged with both the President and the Prime Minister to better understand the roots of the disagreement. CARICOM says this unseemly and distracting conflict is taking place at a time when the insecurity and humanitarian crises are deteriorating gravely. It says this is further deepening and prolonging the despair of the Haitian people seeking a glimmer of hope and relief. CARICOM has called on all the members of the Transitional Presidential Council and the interim government to remain focused on working for the Haitian people and lay the groundwork for free and fair elections by February 2026.
As the infighting continues in Belize's opposition United Democratic Party, the splinter group opposed to party leader Shine Barrow yesterday took over occupancy of the party headquarters, changing the locks. Leader of the splinter group, Tracy Panton, says they were acting on a mandate given by party delegates at a national convention it held earlier this month.
So what happened on the weekend, we had a Central Executive Committee meeting where we made some critical decisions. One is the appointment of the new Secretary General for the United Democratic Party. And we also sought the support of the trustee for this building to have occupation of the building and to use this building for the work of the United Democratic Party.
Shine Barrow, who insists he's still the duly elected leader of the party, was not at the headquarters during the takeover. And Panton says her group is keeping the door open for him to be a candidate for the party in the upcoming general elections.
The people have spoken, man. The people have spoken, and I cannot say that enough. 66% of our delegates is an overwhelming mandate, and they have spoken. We are not trying to oust him out of the party. We're not trying to eject him from the party. There is a new party leader. I will take up the mandate, and I will lead the mandate of the people. He is free to run in Messop.
Prince and Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has called on Britain to move towards an amicable settlement with the Caribbean on the issue of reparations. The Prime Minister told his country's 45th independence anniversary ceremony that while the region is not looking for a confrontation with Britain, it will not allow the issue to be wished away.
I urge our friendly ally Britain, with which we continue to have excellent relations, to resolve this matter amicably through a mature conversation within the framework of CARICOM's 10-point plan as amended for reparatory justice. It is important that they have a mature conversation with us. We are not interested in confrontation. We want to talk maturely on the question of reparations for native genocide and the enslavement of African bodies.
Discussions on reparatory justice featured prominently at the just-ended Commonwealth Heads of Government Summit attended by Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The summit's communique said heads agreed that the time had come for a meaningful, truthful, and respectful conversation. Bahamas Foreign Minister Fred Mitchell, speaking on the sidelines of the summit, said the region has some pending events at which to push the conversation with Britain.
First, there's going to be the UK CARICOM Forum, which will take place in March in London. That's going to come up with a comprehensive report on this issue. And then the hope is, our Prime Minister's hope is that there will be a summit between the CARICOM countries and the UK to discuss the nature of the report and what the report means going forward.
Police in Jamaica are processing two groups of Cuban nationals who arrived in the country illegally on small boats over the weekend. The police confirmed that 7 Cubans landed on Saturday and another 3 on Sunday. The Cubans fled their country amid worsening conditions, including a recent nationwide blackout after problems developed with the island's largest power plant. Hurricane Oscar further aggravated the situation when it struck last week, killing 6 people and causing widespread damage.
Well, this has been the morning edition from the Caribbean News Desk. You may contact us by phone or WhatsApp at +592 700 9293. Thanks for listening.
Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95. The latest happening events, breaking stories, and behind-the-scenes in-depth investigative reports. Stay locked for more fair and balanced talk on The Hot Seat on Q95, the big station.
Dominica, this morning we're gonna repeat a conversation that we had on the Talk on the Block yesterday with the commissioners, both Wayne James and Hillary Schillenford. My phone has been blazing this morning. Matt, can we have a repeat of what happened yesterday? So I obliged. I'm gonna start off with this song. I will bring the gentleman in. Some of the comments made yesterday on the big program, The Talk on the Block. Stick around, stick around. Buried alive, but still here. The commissioners who spoke to us there.
I don't know what tomorrow may bring, but I got a feeling I am alive. There must be a reason. I was given one more chance. My heart's still beating. Baby alive, but I'm still breathing. I don't know what tomorrow may bring, but I got a feeling. I am alive. There must be a reason. I was given one more chance. My heart's still beating. Now all this time I've been blind, only running against the wind. Friends of mine.
The song that was chosen, it is because I felt deep within myself that Hillary Schillingford and myself has been buried alive. And that has happened during the time that we are fighting for the people of Dominica.
Okay.
And some of the very same individuals that we are fighting for. They really buried us alive. But you know, God is good. We are still breathing. We do not know what tomorrow is going to bring for us. But we have a strong feeling that something good is going to work out. Yes, it's a long-awaited time. The people of Dominica wanted to hear from Hillary and I. And we are here to discuss the people's business. And they will be hearing from Hillary and I. So thanks for the opportunity. I also want to say good afternoon to my family for the support they have given me. And all of the people who has prayed for us and support us. We must say thanks for doing that, and we will continue to work on behalf of the people of Dominica. Thanks, Matt.
Hillary?
Yes, Matt. Let me say good afternoon to the people of Dominica. Good afternoon to you in the studio. And good afternoon to the diasporans. I believe it's very important that we make them a part of what is happening here today, because they play a critical part in the way we are today, you know? And I want to again thank Wayne James for the kind of leadership that he has demonstrated on the commission. I don't know if we could have had a better person than him. Somebody maybe more paper qualified than him to be there. But he's what you call a real fighter. A man that will decide he would go all out when it calls for it. So again, I want to thank him and Mr. Linton for giving me the opportunity to be on the commission and not being the new opposition leader. So let me just say, Matt, our time on that commission has been a rough one. And this afternoon we were battered and bruised. This morning.
Bruised?
Bruised, man, by dishonest Dominicans. Man, it was a shameful situation at a meeting today. We are here to do the commission and electoral reform. And I am the problem here in the sense that I am so late. It's because of the kind of treatment Wade and I got. And I had some stuff on the farm. I could not leave it in the sun with the workers. So I had to rush to get it and drop it to the supermarkets.
I'll come back.
I didn't want to deliver them. I just put them there and I walk all the way back down here. So I would like to give people to see how it went in chronological order.
Okay.
But we definitely win has to deal with what happened today first. We'll take the last first. You want to leave on it?
Yeah.
Please.
Matt and the people of Dominica, I also want to put on the record that where Hillary is concerned, I've made it public that I could not have had a better partner than Hillary on the commission, and I want to say thanks to him. Matt, this morning, people of Dominica, and I want especially the young people of Dominica, especially the ghetto youths, to listen very carefully to us. We had a meeting this morning, and on the agenda was the appointment of a chief elections officer. This is a creature of the Constitution, that position. And it was held by Mr. Ian Anthony, and who attained the age of 55. And based on the Constitution, that person holding that position, once you attain the age of 55, then you have to vacate the seat. But the Constitution also says, or any other age prescribed by the Parliament. Matt Peltier and people of Dominica, the commission of which Hillary Shillingford and myself is part of, we took a unanimous decision that Mr. Anthony should continue as the chief elections officer. And as such, we mandated the chairman to do certain things. One was to meet with the Prime Minister in order that the prescribed age could be extended. So that means they would have to go to the Parliament of Dominica. The chairman reported back to us after he had engagement with the Honorable Prime Minister and said that the Prime Minister promised that he would go to the Parliament of Dominica to deal with the matter before Mr. Anthony got to the age of 55. People of Dominica, we have to also understand that Sir Dennis Byron, in his report, after $700,000 spent for work done in relation to reform, he himself realized that the age of 55 must be changed, and he recommended 65. We at the commission, we came to a compromise for 60. So the Prime Minister promised to go to the Parliament, and that did not happen. So Mr. Anthony had to vacate the seat. We got correspondence from the chairman, and one of the correspondents came from Her Excellency, the President of Dominica. And she suggested to us somebody to act in the position. During my time on the commission, that has never happened before. I'm not indicating that Her Excellency did anything contrary to the Constitution. But what I knew as a member of the commission is that the commission would make such recommendation to the president, and then the president would do the appointment. It flipped the other side. So the president suggested a name to us. Matt, when we are selecting registering officers and assistant registering officers, these are people that work during the election time. The names are brought to us as commissioners for us to do due diligence. I would have thought that this name suggested to us, it would be for us to do our own due diligence. I can report to the people of Dominica this afternoon that based on our meeting this morning, Mr. Shillingford and myself, we did due diligence in relation to the name that was presented to us by Her Excellency the President. And also looking at her qualification because the CV was attached. We are convinced that this is not a suitable individual to hold such an important position, especially in light of what we are dealing with now in terms of the reform. And Hillary Shillingford and myself, this morning, we did not spare any effort to express ourselves and to give our other commissioners, colleagues, an opportunity to change their position, because it is very clear that they came to rubber stamp what the president is suggesting to us. But you know what is dangerous about this? And I want the people of Dominica to listen to this. You have the person at the Electoral Commission who is second in command to the Chief Elections Officer. This is a lady who have worked in the system way before Hillary Shillingford and I came to the commission. So she's very versed. What motivation are you giving to individuals that this lady is there and now you want to bring somebody into that position that this lady have to give breast milk to? Because I can say with authority that this lady that they're suggesting, she's going to make a mess out of the Electoral Commission. And what we saw this morning is that members of the commission has prepared themselves from instructions. It was very clear that they want to undermine the very same commission that we are part of. And I want to call on the young people of Dominica and Dominicans. We must not stand for this. This thing cannot continue. This is not an ordinary acting in some of the government institutions. This is the Chief Elections Officer. And taking into consideration what we are dealing with in relation to the reforms, I'm saying Dominicans must be prepared to stand. Hillary and I, we are doing all that we can. That is why we're here, to bring the information out. Matt, I will allow my colleague, Mr. Shillingford, to continue on this.
You said due diligence on Hillary. How much of that you did?
Due diligence?
Yes.
Man, it was my duty because I know the sort of people I'm dealing with. And I tell when we have to go all out to see what is behind it, because that name that is suggested, from what I gather, is not anything suitable for that position. Not that the person don't have their competence in their field, you know? But I went all out this time around. Usually I leave the due diligence on the returning officer. So when I say you know more people than me, and you were more actively involved in that, you know. So I leave it for Wayne, and then when he come to me, I'll just deal with it, maybe almost like a rubber stamp, or do my own little inquiry on the surface. But let me just touch on a few things of this morning, Matt. You know, one, the qualification. Matt, the prime advisor, and Dominicans hear me clear, the prime advisor to Roosevelt Scary, his main advisor, Alec Lawrence, and one of his most active lawyers, Lennox Lawrence, coupled with one of his most aggressive passport seller, another lawyer, Duncan Stowe. So 3 passport sales person agents, right? And these guys are not incompetent guys at all. They stood there at our meeting and they said, Dominica has nobody more competent than Ian Anthony. There's nobody in Dominica more competent than Ian Anthony to hold the position of Chief Elections Officer. In other words, they tell you no lawyer could have given more guidance to the commission. Well, am I wrong or right?
Correct.
Can you imagine the most trusted advisor to the Prime Minister and his two other lawyers? Any matter is them he would go to, besides his senior counsel or whatever. I'm saying to you, bro, that there can be no better recommendation for anybody for a job than this one. Would you agree? And they started giving Ian accolades. But I mean, when James was the old police, but I'm an old veteran, see him laughing? I said, wait, that is the way to destroy Ian. Ian is too honest for these guys. Mark my word, they're going to ask Ian. When is it impossible? If all that kind of thing. I said, they're going to ask him. I said, know how these guys operate. I know them very, very well. And Matt, I saw it coming. They did everything. Look, come with all garbage excuse. If Alec advised Kerry on something, Kerry would move immediately. You agree? Mm-hmm. So I don't talk about Duncan Stoll and also, but Alec in particular. So that was a no-no, right? But when I look at the woman's qualification, she brings nothing to the table. Absolutely nothing to the table in that department, in that area. I mean, we cannot set the standard by using Ian as the benchmark. No, Ian is super qualified in all areas, in human resource, in management, in law, everything. You know, Ian, this man is looking like a teenager still. He has so much to offer. Every time you bring up something in a minute, Ian can give you the answer. Ian can tap into a number of different countries and their commission. And while the meeting going on, he said, look, I just got that from North Korea. Look, I just got that from Bahamas. Look, he just, as soon as you charge him to do it now, within less than 3 minutes, he comes back with the answer. So these guys know what they're doing. And this morning, I said to them straight, you all men came here programmed. Okay? You came to rubber stamp something. You came here like messengers, free messengers that doing the dirty work of the Prime Minister. And if you all know that's what you all coming to do, you should not waste my time. Because we showing you, look there, look there. Even the church, when you go to the church for a report, you'd be shocked, Matt. The same thing Ian Anthony had established more than 2-3 years ago. Anybody who's actively involved in politics, should not be a returning officer or an assistant poll clerk. If Ian is putting that instruction there, once you're actively involved in politics, you should not be on those lower level position. You're telling me now you're taking a crony of the government that say when election call, that okay, not look for me. I mean, come on. And there are some other things you can say on air. But some things that were brought up to the meeting. And you getting dates, you getting time, you get, you know. And I say, look, go do a research there, go and check this, go and check that. And these guys listen to you, you come back again, and you ask them to reconsider their position. We let them speak first. They just come there to throw the rubber stamp. And we ask them to reconsider their position. Duncan Stone never has a position at the commission. He lets everybody speak, and he jumps in after everybody speak. I look at what Mr. Lawrence, Alec A. is saying. You know, the man never has a... This morning I tell him, Duncan, you are equally a member of the commission as everybody else. Okay? Why don't you ever take a position? I want you to speak before me today. Show us your position. Well, you know, Duncan was placed there just to go and do, how do I say it? The biddings of the government. Duncan has never in the, how many years he have here? About 4 or 5 years?
Going on 5.
Going on 5 years or so. Duncan has never taken a position, not once, not for once. Or Duncan has ever go contrary to anything Alec Lawrence has said. Duncan is like a follower.
So you think he's a puppet on a string or something?
Totally. Even calling him a puppet, a baboon on a string. Duncan has never taken a position. I'm not speaking like figuratively, you know. The fact I'm giving you is a fact. Duncan has never taken a position. Duncan has never opposed not one thing that Alex said. You wonder, how do you call these fellas lawyers and people that even put their... I keep asking him, if you cannot put your country first or second, put it third. Don't put Dominica last, Duncan. Duncan is an absolute follower as it pertains to the Commission and Roosevelt's Kerry administration. In life, no. We know him to be a rich man, and I admire him for that. You know? But at the Commission, he has never taken a position. And he's the most destructive person, in my view. He's the most destructive person at the Commission, in my view. When he was coming, both he and my friend Lawrence, I told Mr. James, these are dangerous people. I told Earl Williams in America. With people like David Johnson in their group chat. Duncan is the worst thing that's going to happen to the Commission. From the day he was suggested, I told them Duncan is the worst thing that's going to happen to the Commission.
He said, I wish I could go back to that. He said he would be a commissioner for the people.
You don't need to go back. Wayne James brought that up several times at the meeting this morning. Wayne James telling him, bring back your memory. I just didn't oppose Wayne James. And Wayne James was the most aggressive I've seen him was today. There was a certain time I said, hey, let me jump in before Wayne because he's too aggressive today. I won't get a chance this morning there. You know what I'm saying? And Wayne James was bringing him back to those days. It is not fair to Dominica.
So what has happened to him since then?
Duncan?
Yes.
I mean, Duncan's just a follower. Duncan is just doing his own biddings. He's not satisfied if where he is, he needs another 10 million or whatever. But they must understand the passport program is dead. Absolutely dead. Take it from me, Wayne. Matt, it's not reviving anytime soon. For it to revive, the administration have to go. But what I want to tell young people, as Wayne just addressed them, if you sit there and wait for your pittance, and you do not challenge the government when you are called upon the next time, don't behave like the truckers. They hit you with tear gas, you go back, free up your face, and you come back again. The tear gas have to finish. You cannot give up your country for tear gas. Matt, it is a sad situation. Young people don't seem to be prepared to fight, but they must find that stamina to shut down the country, Matt. I repeat, they must shut down the country if anybody is trying to interfere with their democratic rights. The democratic process must be upheld. And nobody must give you reform in one hand or pretend to be giving you reform in one hand. Like the garbage that Lennox Lawrence spoke at the Commission about fingerprinting is a criminal, it gives a criminal connotation.
Yes.
Matt, let's look at it clearly. Fingerprinting. For you to get a US visa, you must be fingerprinted. For you to get a US green card, you must be fingerprinted. For you to get a US passport, you must be fingerprinted. For you to enter the US, even after you took all those fingerprints, you still have to be fingerprinted. And these guys go through that every day. If you enter a top examination room, writing your exam and you want to go up to use the washroom, you must be fingerprinted to come back in. To get the same passport that make them millionaires on the backs of Dominicans, you must be fingerprinted to get an economic passport. So these guys are just a bunch of dishonest men that will say whatever they want to say to advance their process, man. You cannot be saying in one vein that fingerprinting is so dishonest, gives a dishonest message. And on the other vein, you're supporting fingerprinting all the way. Matt, it is time for Dominicans to stand up and fight. Stand up for Dominica. What can they do to you? You see countries where people putting their own self on fire for their country. Collectively, the few little guys in uniform, and a number of them wouldn't support the administration and the nonsense they're doing every time people come out. So It is time now for Dominicans to stand up and stand up for their rights.
Let me ask a question there off the bat. What were your most serious concerns as it relates to this reform when you reviewed all these documents?
Matt, good question, and let's deal with this. The people of Dominica, what they have been asking for is three things. One, they want the list to be cleansed. They would like voter ID cards, and they wanted some cap to be put in relation to campaign financing, because we understood, we have seen what big money has done in terms of elections past. And it just cannot be right. It cannot be right for a government in office to use state resources to keep themselves in office. And then the opposing parties does not have that privilege. So this is what the people of Dominica has been asking for. At the commission, after we spent all these times with Sir Dennis Byron, and he made his recommendations, the government then sent the draft legislations to us as to the intent to go to Parliament. I can report to the people of Dominica that at the commission, we unanimously took a decision that voter ID card must be issued before any elections. I want to repeat that. We have taken a unanimous decision at the commission that voter ID cards must be in place before the next election. My colleague, Mr. Shillingford, indicated that Lennox Lawrence came into the commission and he spoke about this fingerprinting part and put this criminal connotation to it. This to me is garbage. Doesn't make sense, because what I want the people of Dominica to understand is that at the commission, as we speak, the machines that are there, one of the things that is required is your fingerprint in order for you to get the card. That is monies that the government has expended on these machines, and it is there. And that, the fingerprint for us, it is because we understand that this will prevent individuals from voting more than once in the election. We must not pretend. We know. I've heard persons call your program and indicate that they have seen persons vote in more than one constituency. So we have signed off on that. In relation to cleansing of the list, we have also took a unanimous decision about confirmation. We believe that yes, the people of Dominica was asking for a complete re-registration. But if we understand the dynamic, the confirmation is going to get us to the same thing. So we agreed upon that. But all these things must be done before an election is called. In relation to the campaign finance, this for us, Hillary and I, we were pushed back. These guys, they don't want to hear about that. So they don't want this to be part of the present reforms that the government is sending. For the matter of fact, the government did not mention anything about campaign finance legislation. And for me, that was one of the most disappointing period for me in our deliberations, because we felt the time had come now that this big money cannot continue playing any role in our electoral process.
Matt, let me just touch on one thing. You want me to come in?
Go ahead.
Mr. James touched on campaign financing. If I recall, and I would like him to correct me if I'm wrong, when we were together with Dennis Byron, the entire commission stood by campaign financing. That was no major issue. Am I wrong, Mr. James?
You're correct, you're correct.
So the commission supported campaign financing, right? In the government proposal, when Skerry pack up, treated Sir Dennis Byron report like garbage, and he brought his piece of whatever, and not even with the paper it is written on. There and then, he took off campaign financing. However, Matt, Labour Party has a machinery, propaganda machine, that we can say to a certain extent doing very well. one can say it's only on foolish people it will work. As I recall, somebody tell me, a senior counsel within the Labour Party, I don't want to get sued, but they know, a senior counsel said, why you worrying about the intelligent few? There are more foolish people in Dominica than intelligent ones. So don't worry about them. You know what I'm saying, man? I'm telling you, they went on radio and they gave the public the impression that campaign financing have to do with government giving politicians money from the treasury. But there's nothing further in the truth than that. Campaign financing had nothing to do with state-owned money. It is you declaring where you get your money from and how you can get your money, and not accepting money from the corrupt sources that they've been collecting it from before. So to go out there and spread it, and Laborites are effective on that. When they one say it, they just spread it through the island. Oh, workers want government to give them the money they have to run the country. There was no such thing. Government cannot give a political party money to campaign. That was never part of campaign financing. So I want to say that to clear the door, to clear the air on that. I also want not even comment.
Yeah, it's on. Let's, because somebody was asking the question a few minutes ago. Let me just get back to that question there. Somebody was asking, because I don't think we came to any conclusion as to who, if you are permitted to, who is this acting election officer that we speak of?
Huh?
Can you speak to that? The question is, who is that person that you guys were suggesting makes no sense as the chief election officer?
Matt Pelte, this is in the public domain, and this is the people's business.
Yeah, public business.
So I'm going to say the name of the individual and want to also give Dominicans the opportunity, because they would know who that person is. It's a lady by the name of Anthea Joseph. She is a procurement officer in the Ministry of Finance. And that is the name that came from Her Excellency the President. And this is the name that we pushed back on this morning because, as I said, we did our background checks, both Mr. Shillingford and myself, and we are satisfied that this is not a suitable person for this job. More so, Matt, because of the sensitive nature of the work that has to be done in order to get this reform up and running. We do not believe, based on our own investigation, that this person is suited for that position. And we stand by this, and we made it very clear to our colleagues on the commission this morning.
So what was the final decision taken? She is what? She's now acting?
Well, Matt and the people of Dominica, at the end of our meeting, Mr. Ali Clarence suggested something to the chairman, that he must now write to the president, inform the president that the acting appointment of this lady was supported by 3 of them, and it was opposed by Mr. Shillingford and myself. So I would believe that as of maybe tomorrow, this letter would go to Her Excellency the President, and taking into consideration the dynamics of the commission, 3-2, that this lady is going to walk into the Electoral Commission office maybe before the end of the week. And I'm going to say publicly that this is going to be the saddest day in the history of the Electoral Commission in Dominica.
Matt, let me just say, everybody on the commission has a law degree. I'm a farmer. But I want to challenge every one of them, including Wayne James, that the actions at the commission this morning is illegal. I've spoken to no lawyer on it, and I say it with authority. For 2 reasons. Mr. Lawrence attended the meeting, he made his point. Right? He said, I give him support. Okay? He went out. He went to his meeting. to his court or whatever. As a commission, it is common that members of the commission would take a position now, and after hearing arguments, it is expected that members can change their position. Agreed with James? Right. Sorry. Alec Lawrence address, Wayne James address, Hillary Chillingford address, Duncan still supported what Lawrence said as usual. And I came in again, and Wayne James came in again. So clearly, any other commissioner who was there would have to reinstate his position with. Either you reinstate your position or you change your position. Is that correct, Matt? You lost for a moment. I'm saying, since he made his comment and he left.
I got the point.
More than 4 minutes in the
He
meeting.
left the meeting.
Left the meeting.
Yes.
When other commissioners make their point, you can either change your position or maintain your position. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Right. So at the end of the meeting, the correct thing that should be done is that we should have a vote on what transpired at the meeting. Okay? We cannot say, oh, Mr. Lawrence expressed his support for it, and when he supported his position, that is nonsense as far as I'm concerned. I asked them to put it to a vote, let the record show. And it has not been put to a vote. So I do not believe it is right, it is fair, it is ethical to write to the president or anybody saying that the commission has agreed. Usually, if we unanimously agree, we make it clear, or we put a vote, and you show your hands to say who support or who didn't support. They refuse to put it to a vote. So I do not believe it should be sent to the president. But if it is sent, it is wrong.
But like when you think it would be a sad day if that happens.
It would be a super sad thing. You know what these guys do? Usually when they have certain positions, sensitive positions, and they make that one look like it was an urgency. We run in a country without an opposition leader, which is a much more powerful position. They see no urgency in that one. But here it is. You make it that one look like it's so urgent. Let me just tell you. That president of Dominica, I've had 2 addresses from her. She addressed the commission on 2 occasions, put a letter in front of her leaf. And both of them, she looked like she was absolutely meddling in the politics of this country. The woman sent a letter to us, telling us, no, not to us, she made in her address to the nation on a document, which the server said that document, saying she read through the proposed legislation from the government and she see no problem why it should have any difficulty in being passed within a day or 2. What's to that effect? Can you imagine a president doing that? She has no knowledge in law. I want to express in her interest, I suspect she never read the document and she was asked or given something to put into her document. Because for her to say that nonsense, that garbage, when Alec had problems with it, right? There are things in it Alec wanted change. Lawrence had problems with it. Everybody had problems in it. And the woman writes saying she read through it and she's satisfied that's an excellent piece of document. That is from the president, mingling in the politics of the country. And today again, she took everything the opposite way. Never in the history of the country has the president sent a name and asking us to rubber stamp it for her. She sends her name as a sort of sense of consultation. She didn't think of sending 2 or 3 names, Suggesting 2 or 3 names. Somebody give her a name, she send it to us. Push it down their throat. And Alec, Lawrence, and Duncan came like 3 missionaries to just shove it down our throats. These things cannot be.
All right, Dominica. There's more. We will continue after this break. Remember, it's a repeat of yesterday's Talk on the Block. We're going to come back right after this.
The range of Kin juices are 100% natural with no added sugar. Kin offers a range of refreshing juices which are enriched with vitamin C and no added preservatives. Delight yourself in one of Kin's nectars or treat your little ones with a Kinita box drink at a refreshingly low price today. Kin, the juice in our lives. Sold at major supermarkets island-wide. Distributed by Fine Foods Inc.
Home and Tools is the #1 stop for everything home and garden. We stock a wide variety of building materials, houseware, gardening tools, decorative items, hand and power tools, appliances, furniture, and more. Home and Tools. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Home and Tools, located on the Jimmet Highway in the DCP compound. Call us today on 275-1414. Home and Tools, quality at everyday low.
You an easy way to pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
You're on your way.
Flow is keeping you connected.
Bloombox brings you our new branch right in the heart of Roseau to make things even easier for you to get all the best products we have in stock. Bloombox Roseau on the corner of Hanover Street and Drury Lane, next to Richard Wholesale, the same block as Western Union. Bloombox Roseau, a farmer's favorite place. New location, same great products for all your planting needs. We're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call us at 235-3483. Bloombox, your one-stop shop for everything that grows. Let's bloom together.
Hardware and home improvement, building supplies for you, kitchen appliances, even home decor too, lumber, lawn, all your garden supplies, plumbing, welding, electrical supplies.
Visit Do It Center at the former Jane Asset Hardware location on Goodwill Road. Call us at 255-6890. Do it Center.
Want to stay ahead in the world of electronic communications? Then you've got to check out Electoral Bytes, a production of the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority. We dive into the hottest topics affecting the telecom sector, from the latest innovations to the policies shaping your digital future. Tune in to Electoral Bytes on the last 3 Thursdays of this month, October 17th, 24th, and 31st. In the digital world, knowledge is your greatest asset.
Kubuli, let's chill. We're drinking Kubule, we're drinking Kubule, we're drinking Kubule, #1 in the air. We're drinking Kubule, we're drinking Kubule, we're drinking Kubule, #1 in the air. Down by the river, let's chill, down by the bar. Let's chill, my favorite beer. Let's chill, #1 in Dominica. Let's chill. We're drinking Kubule, we're drinking Kubule, we're drinking Kubule, #1 in the air. We're drinking Kubule, we're drinking Kubule, we're drinking Kubule, #1 in the air. Kubule, let's chill.
Kubuli beer, distributed by Belfast Estate. Drink responsibly.
Somebody who creole like the big creole. Mouvement créole à Soukir. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité pour études créole Dominique. Et puis Radio QFM qui présenté. Mouvement créole. Tous les mardis soirs, entre 6 et après-midi. Information, blagues, interviews, l'histoire, problème, discussion, reportage, apprendre à parler et puis écrit créole. Lien avec ton peuple créole. Bon musique créole. Mouvement créole. À nous faire un rendez-vous, messieurs, mesdames. Tous les mardis soirs, QFM qui est frappé avec bon parole créole. Sans ça participer, qui est nous? Rapide bâtiment Mouvement Créole à sous station QFM. Boissez avec nous tous les mardis soirs 6h pour Mouvement Créole. Matchez ça.
We're back, Dominica. The second part, a repeat of yesterday's conversation of the two commissioners, Mr. Wayne James and Hillary Schillenfeld. Stay tuned.
Mr. James, seeing that you guys don't want the lady there or don't like the lady, I don't know which one is it. Do you have somebody else you would recommend?
I'm going to ask the question. He said, whether there's somebody else that you recommend because you don't like that lady.
This voice sounds like Al Binwa. And Al, my friend, if you were listening, I informed the people of Dominica that the commission took a unanimous decision that the prescribed age of Mr. Ian Anthony must go to the parliament so that that prescribed age be changed. I also indicated that Sir Dennis Byron in his report, and I figure it's because of his interaction with Mr. Anthony and understood the level at which this gentleman is, he decided that we cannot afford to lose such an individual, especially at this time. So the commission took that decision. That a letter was sent to the cabinet secretary, in relation to Mr. Anthony and informing the cabinet secretary that we had taken the decision. We went further and we suggested to them that if they do not want to change the prescribed age, that we would like to have Mr. Anthony on a contractual basis. But I after thinking of it, really, I mean, the person who is acting in the position is the person who legally is responsible and to take decisions. Mr. Anthony can be a consultant and give her advice, and she decides she doesn't want to take those advice, because if what we're hearing there and based on our investigation in terms of politics, she doesn't have to listen to the gentleman. So, Mr. Benwell, yes, the commission, we have already suggested somebody.
All right, are you there?
Mr. James, quick question, and then I'm going to go. Mr. James, so the problem is not the lady experience. The problem you guys have is about her age. I thought when you get older, you get wiser, but it don't look like it was.
It's not what it is. It's wrong.
They tell
the
me
lady is a young person. Her age is not an issue.
The age is not an issue.
He's still there? He's still there?
Are you still there, Al?
Yeah, one more thing. One more thing.
Hold on.
The way the report is right now, is it something you would say the government is ready to take? Would you be satisfied with the report right now to take to Parliament? And have a good day.
I suspect you not understand. That's your problem, Al. You don't understand. They told you the entire commission recommended this young man, and why is it that this has not been taken to Parliament? That's the point they made there. Hello, talk to me, yes? I'll please listen a little more. Talk to me, yes? Let's take more phone calls, but we don't have too much time. I can tell you that. Hello, yes? Quickly.
Good afternoon and good afternoon to the commissioner.
Yes,
My concern is the level of disrespect and listening to the whole talk as to what is really going on in one of the most sensitive and important aspects in our country to maintain democracy and to ensure that we'll have a proper voting system. You see the kind of travesty that is inside them. At what point the people will realize that they're serving a nation and therefore they don't serve in a party and a man, and they have to do everything in the interest of the people under the law and the Constitution.
All right, let's move on. There are more calls there because we don't have too much time. Hello, talk to me. Yes, quickly.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Mr. James, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Mr. Hillary Shillingford, I do not know you guys, but I want to say good afternoon and thank you for service to our country.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Matt, I want to ask a question, but before I ask a question, I want to ask you, Matt, a question. When the sitting president was nominated, Matt, wasn't there a party before time that she was going to be the president?
I don't understand the question. I ask the question again. Yes, there was a party.
I'm asking before. Well, let me. To my knowledge, before she was seated as the sitting president, there was a party in a village that she was going to be president, and it happened. My question I want to ask Matt is: are they going to have a party on behalf of this lady?
I don't know. You'll have to ask the Labour Party about. What? Yes, sir.
It is interesting that you're asking that.
Yes,
because it was we made it clear to them that they came there with their heads buried in the sand, and they just came for a rubber stamping. So this guy making a point there that they go out there, plan their mess, and they just come and rubber stamp it at the commission on Dominicans. But Matt, I don't know if you want to take a few calls or you want me to make a point, but you can take a few calls.
Yeah, we don't have too much time. I'm to take a few calls so we can just wrap it up all together there. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes, good. Yes, Hello, yes, quickly.
Matt, good afternoon. This is Lennox Clinton.
Hi, Lennox Clinton.
Hillary Shillingford, good afternoon. Wayne James.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm trying to understand something that seems to be confusing me. What I heard earlier from you gentlemen is that there was unanimous agreement on the commission that Ian Anthony had worked well as the chief elections officer to the point where the commission was satisfied that he should be allowed to continue to serve in that position. But for that to happen, it required the parliament to move the prescribed age for retirement from the post of chief elections officer up from 55
That's correct.
to 60 or to 65. There was a recommendation in the Byron Commission report for the prescribed age to be moved up to 65. I think I heard both commissioners or one of them say that the commission recommended 60, the age of 60.
Yeah, they got to that compromise. Yes, 60.
Good. So, in light of the fact that they wanted the previous chief elections officer to continue, Mr. Ian Anthony, did I also understand that there was representation on behalf of the commission by the chairman to the prime minister in that regard?
Yes, you're correct.
And all the negotiations and the recommendations were headed by Alec Lawrence.
And so the feeling of the commission, the recommendation of the commission that Ian Anthony should stay on, and that the prescribed age for retirement should be moved up from 55, was made known to the prime minister.
Yes, it was.
Was it also made known to the president?
Yes, because the letter was also copied to Her Excellency, the President. She was privy to that correspondence coming from the Electoral Commission.
Yeah.
So at what point did the President initiate consultation with the Commission? Because the President, under the Constitution, is the one who appoints the Chief Elections Officer after consultation with the Commission. So at what point was the consultation with the Commission initiated, where you got the CV of this lady and et cetera, et cetera? Was that before the President was notified or after the President was notified?
What I can say to you, Mr. Linton, is that our consideration of Mr. Anthony, the prescribed age going to the parliament to change, this was done before Mr. Anthony achieved the age of 55, and that was communicated to the Honorable Prime Minister. But the letter to the Cabinet Secretary, which Her Excellency the President was CC'd, She got that letter and she read in black and white the decision of the commission in relation to Mr. Anthony. And after she then wrote to the commission and she CC'd that letter to the Honorable Prime Minister, indicating this name that she sent to us. And we just cannot understand. And I indicated to the commission this morning, the Constitution of Dominica is very clear. And I take this with passion because it speaks about the independence of the Electoral Commission. And if at the level of president, you cannot even respect that decision. We worked with the gentleman. We know this gentleman better than every single one of them. And that is why Mr. Shillingford said that Mr. Alec Lawrence, I wrote it down when we were having the meeting, that he does not know of anybody else in Dominica. That's his word, you know. Mr. Shillingford said that. I wrote it down. There is nobody in Dominica that he knows that is capable and competent to hold the position as chief elections officer like Mr. Anthony. And here we are faced with this.
Just to make it straight, Mr. Linton.
Yes.
More than 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks before that name was brought up, everybody knew the position of the commission on Ian Anthony. Okay? So more than 3 weeks before. It's not something that may have clashed in her mind. It was deliberately done. She was given a name and she just pushing him forward without doing the diligence.
All right. Our final comment there from you, Lennox. Go ahead. I think he understood what Josie was saying there. 2:54 is we're gonna take 2 more calls. I will allow the commissioners to wrap up here. I suspect they're gonna play that program back maybe in the morning. Hello, talk to me. Yes. 449-3095. We don't have too much time. Again, 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097. You know what? When the calls are coming in, very busy. It gets locked. Hello, talk to me. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon, Mr. Williams and Mr. Shillingford.
Good afternoon to you.
So since there was communication to the Prime Minister and CC to the President with a unanimous decision by the Commission, Mr. Williams and Mr. Shillingford, do you think it would be appropriate now to write to the President reminding her of the communication regarding the age of Mr. Anthony and the unanimous decision of the Commission at that time, before his age came to 55, and reminding her what the Commission's unanimous decision was and why now there's another name in place, and also describe to her how the procedure of the meeting you all had this morning, you all feel it was done the proper way. You all are not comfortable with it because it was not put to a vote. I mean, it might not do anything, but it will be on the record and CC to the Prime Minister also. Do you think that would be a worthwhile venture?
Go ahead, guys. Do you think it would be a worthwhile venture?
I want to sympathize with the caller. But as I indicated, the President is fully aware as to how the Commission feels about Mr. Anthony. I said it was in writing to the Cabinet Secretary and copied to her. So she understands our decision. And the Honorable Prime Minister, he promised the chairman, after mandated by the Commission, to have conversation with him. He promised that he would have gone to the Parliament of Dominica before Mr. Anthony came to the age of 55, so that in order the prescribed age could have been changed. And that was not done.
Yes, we're going to give you, of course, our final question, and then we'll have the commissioners wrap up there before we move. Hello, yeah.
But I understand everything that is taking place there, but I want to ask Mr. Shillingford and Mr. James one question. Seeing that they are commissioners, are they giving the people of Dominica an advice to stand up against this injustice? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, but I think by next week they should start going on the road. By next week.
You heard the comment. By next week it says people should go on the road and.
Well. I my concern is not when they should go. They must make it successful. When you have a dictator, a tyrant at the helm, you have to go out there to bring him down. You have to come out in full force and stay on the road until Roosevelt's spirit either go down to his knees, straighten up what's happening in the country, or you must push him out of office. You remember Tony Estevans talk about the Constitutional Cool Watch Brigade?
Mm-hmm.
If the police giving you expired tear gas illegally, then you must stand up against it at any cost. Matt, let me just quickly make a little point there, quick.
Yeah.
Matt, the young people, I want to address the young people. Matt, there's a rumor going around, and Labour Party is very, very, very aggressive at that. They have that rubbish saying that, diasporans there and they're voting already. You know what they do that for? It's a Labour Party propaganda strategy. So that Dominicans will lose confidence, their shoulders will be broken. Boy, all those diasporans vote already, they win the election already, and they wouldn't come out. Nobody can vote before election. It is impossible, and those that repeating it just as stupid as those that spreading it. When an election is called, nobody knows who the candidates are. Even if the government know their candidates, they don't know how many people come in, who come in for the next side, how many independent candidates come in, how do they prepare the ballot? It is absolute crap, and to be repeating it makes you sound like a fool. So nobody can vote before election because nobody knows who's going to be on the ballot. But that is a good strategy to deflect and to destroy the opposition supporters. So that we must fight against. Matt, another thing that was another contention. I want to blame myself and I want to apologize to the people of Dominica for being here that late. We didn't get a chance to deal with reform.
You'll come back. We'll come back.
Matt, one of the main things that we addressed on was the fact that one judge can sit on elections petition. Election petition doesn't have to do with the entire government alone. It could do with one seat. And one seat can make or break the government. If there's a 10-10, the 11th seat can be in question. And if you have one corrupt judge, you offer him $5 million to return your decision, even $1 million. A judge doesn't go home with $1 million easily. He would be prepared to give you the decision that you asked for to get his $5 million.
I don't know what just happened there, but we're here. We're going to take a break and we'll come back, Dominica. This is Q95. Q95.
Mouvement créole à Soukir. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité pour études créole Dominique. Et puis Radio QFM qui est présenté. Mouvement créole. Tous les mardis soirs, entre 6 et après-midi. Information, blagues, interviews, l'histoire, problème, discussion, reportage, apprendre à parler et puis écrit créole. Lien avec ton peuple créole. Bon musique créole. Mouvement créole. À nous faire un rendez-vous, messieurs, mesdames. Tous les mardis soirs, QFM qui est frappé avec bon parole créole. Sans ça participer, qui est nous rapidement Mouvement créole à seconde station QFM. Voici avec nous tous les mardis soirs 6h pour Mouvement créole. Matchez ça.
At 9:30, Dominic, at 9:30. We're now looking for your comments, questions on the presentation. Just ended a few minutes ago prematurely. We'll try to get the very end and play that to you sometime during the course of the program. Hello, talk to me, yes? Hello.
Good morning to you. Good morning. Yes, Matt Peltier. Good morning to you. How are you doing, man?
Morning, sir.
It's been a while, huh?
I know. You're staying quiet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm listening. I'm just listening. I can't seem to get through with you, so I'm just listening and paying attention to what is happening. And it seems like it's getting worse and worse every day. And I heard you playing the lamentations of the commissioners. That's what I call it, the lamentations of the commissioners.
Yes, from yesterday.
But from yesterday, yeah. But Matt Peltier, I mean, there is one solution to our problem. I think Hillary Clinton. I said Hillary Clinton. Hillary Schillingford said it best. We have a monkey on our back, and I think in all of our conversation, and I've said it over and over again, Matt tells you there are forces that are influencing the situation in Dominica. The actions of the individual tells me who it is. And Matt tells you, if you plant a mango tree, you would expect to see mangoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you plant an apple tree, you would expect to see apples. So if we have a deal with an individual and it gets to the point where individuals from that country is even dictating how much truck drivers getting paid from their own resources, from their own structures, from their passport sales, then we have a serious problem. And the problem we have right now is the people of Dominica appreciate or love being fooled or love being in fear. And as a result, they are taken advantage of. I think it's time that we pay this individual the lesson he deserves. And we will get nowhere unless Roosevelt Skerrit is removed from office. Their history has shown us that individuals like this gentleman have no intentions of releasing power because his freedom, I think, frankly, depends on holding the office of Prime Minister because that's what protects him. And I with what has happened in the past, Roosevelt Skerrit knows if he's not in the office of Prime Minister, he will not be a free man. You know what has happened to people like Roosevelt Skerrit? And I'm going to say, they are either in exile or they take their own life. That is what happens. And I'm not wishing it, Matt Peltier, but we cannot be naive to see what is happening around us, Matt Peltier. We cannot be naive to see that there is a Chinese influence on our government system. They are telling us that. These guys come. How can the Chinese ambassador come to Dominica, make donations to the country and talk about the Labour Party? When the ambassador is supposed to be talking about the people of Dominica, he comes and he talks about the Labour Party. How can the Chinese ambassador come to Dominica and say Dominicans are incapable of doing stuff, that's why we are here? Somebody had to tell him that Dominicans are incapable. Matt Peltier, how can we be a free country? How can we be an independent country when our philosophy for the past 20 years is mendicancy, dependency, and frankly begging for everything we have? How can a man be free when he goes to another man to feed his children? How can, look at the record of the police officers. Lincoln Cobbett got dismissed for shooting an individual. Lincoln Cobbett questionable in why the individual dropped the case because the guy is rumored to have gone and pick him up in the police station, have a discussion with him. Lincoln Cobbett, his name was involved in Choxy, the illegal transportation of an individual without due process, and Dominicans sit aside. Let's look at the guy who's the deputy chief, Jefferson James. We know who they are. Dominica is a small country. The guy was rumored to have been involved in looting where police officers came to his home. Look at where he is. Look at the other top brass of the police officers who are rumored to either be in theft or in some scandal. Look at where they are, Matt Peltier. You know what is happening? Some of these folks are put in position to do the bidding of the corrupt, demonic leadership we have in Dominica. And what he does is he gets people with questionable characters, and instead of being loyal to the country, they become loyal to the individual who is putting them in that position. And therefore, every institution, the courts, the ministries, every institution is compromised by the guy who literally takes the state resources and does what money corrupts, Matt Peltier. Any individual, even myself or anybody, has the potential to be corrupted by money because we make decisions on what is our main needs. Human beings make decisions on what is immediately important to them. That's their basic needs. That's it, Matt Peltier. And when you have somebody in a desperate situation, they cannot make a decision as to what my future is. They're going to make decisions that's in their best interest at the time. And that is how Roosevelt Skerrit, the psychologist, is able to get Dominicans to be so corrupted for his own benefit. And I say unless we, the people of Dominica, take away the devil, take away the fear, take away the selfishness, take away the greed, understand that fighting for others is fighting for ourselves, And when I sit down, I didn't get a chance to talk, but when I sit down and I see truck drivers demonstrating, and there are people saying, "Oh, they're blocking my road," not realizing that that airport is built from resources from the state. And you're telling me that a foreigner is coming to tell you how much money they're paying you to work for your own construction and your own money, and the Prime Minister has the audacity to come and even laugh at your trucks and telling you that the Chinese are paying you $60. Why is a Chinese individual coming to tell a Dominican citizen how much they're paying them to build the airport that is funded by their own property? Matthew, you see the ridiculousness of the situation. Dominica is ripe for revolution, but the problem is these people who are working at We Church, these people who are working at Save a Lot, these people who are working in the banks, go to work not realizing that when the truck drivers get paid 90% of the revenue that comes from the airport, it's going to their stores, their pockets, their bank, their grocery stores, their kids, their loans. They're not realizing that's what is happening. So the selfishness, you're preventing me from going to work. But at the end of the day, if we're not getting that revenue, if that revenue goes out of Dominica, then we benefit not. And for God's sake, I do not understand why the rest of the population does not understand that to get rid of the monster on our back, to develop, sometimes we have to get into a little uncomfortable and inconvenience, Pelty. We have to get a little inconvenience for a couple of weeks or a couple of months for a life of betterment. Or we can stay there in our own selfish shells and have a life of misery. Pelty, when I left Dominica, I was a 21-year-old. It's been 20-something years this government is in office. I have friends who are now in their 40s who cannot buy a piece of land and build a house because the state of the economy has not helped them. So that tells me children who were born when I left Dominica are now in their 20s. And that means 2 generations of Dominica will not know what it is to be the best of themselves, because we have had leadership that have frankly told us we are incapable. We can't do anything for ourselves. And all we should do is sit and beg, let one man give us what we want. If that is not hell, I don't know what it is. If that is not slavery, I don't know what it is. And the mental, the chains that we have on our brains, the chains that we have on our minds that keep us in that mental slavery is sad. And it's very sad, especially when it's somebody from your own kind who is oppressing you. And I am saying right now, there is no doubt as who it is. I have sent message to people like Matthew Walters because I told him before my vote means something. They have a responsibility to bring back the country to where it used to be. They have a responsibility to stand up for the people who have voted for them in bands and these places for all these years that have made his family wealthy because he was part of the government elite. These people have given him his vote. He have a responsibility to right the wrong. And if people in Dominica do not want to fight, I'm talking to an individual. And Matthew, you know I don't live in Dominica. Matthew, I have a damn good job. I can do whatever I want. My kids can be fine. We love Dominica. My kids love Dominica more than some people in Dominica. Matthew, I do not have to speak. And when I'm talking to this individual, he said, "I don't even know why you're talking." And I asked him a simple question. I said, "How long your wife's working?" Tell me his wife is working 18 years. 18 years as a teacher, not appointed. I said, that is why I speak. I don't have to do it. I don't. I really don't. But you know what I cannot stand? As a black man, as a son of slaves, as a son of maroons, I cannot stand the fact that we treat ourselves and people treat you less of a human being. It happens everywhere in the world. And the nastiest thing is for the leadership of a country you put in there to treat you like shit. And I'm telling you, it's about time. If an election is called without the necessary reforms, the damn country should shut down. And at some point, if people are not willing to make the sacrifices to make their life better, I say goodbye to Dominica, because we are not serious. I can't be fighting for people. I'm having conversations with students. You know better than most. The amount of times I've called about the scholarships for the kids. 90% of the students don't know me. They don't even know I'm fighting on their behalf. Some of them are now working in the U.S. You know what I'm hearing? They're not going back to Dominica. They're not going back to Dominica, Pelty. Some of them who have gotten scholarships from the government, their families and their parents work in the government. Pelty, their parents are telling them, do not come back. There is nothing in Dominica for them. I am not making this up, Pelty. I am not making this up. They are telling them, do not come. You are journalists. Do a little investigation. Find out how many government ministers and their friends send their students to go and study overseas with scholarship. Find out how many of them are coming back, Matilda. Their own parents who work with the government are telling them, do not come back to Dominica. There's nothing for them. Why? And then my niece, my nephews, my friends, my cousins, my family have to stay and suffer and made to feel less of human beings in their own country when Chinese are coming to dictate to you what you should and shouldn't do and how much you should get paid. I think Roosevelt Skerritt needs to be forced in exile. As a matter of fact, that guy is in India right now. His plane shouldn't land when it comes back to Dominica. And I kid you not, it's about time that Dominicans rise up and take their country back from that wannabe dictator. Mafelte, you have a good morning.
Have a good morning. Very, very emotional there. I must speak, huh? This Mr. Lennon Matthew, very passionate about his country. Take your comments, a lot of voice notes. I must speak.
My wife getting sick. She say, wait, don't speak. Let Lennox and them take care of this.
Coming back in a few minutes.
Leave it alone. We have our loan. Them boys dangerous. They will victimize us. I say, darling, don't you know a man must do what a man has to do. I have to talk, no matter the cost, or our children won't be able to. And that is why I must speak.
Good morning, Matt. So I am listening to the conversation again with Mr. Wayne James and Mr. Hilary Schellenfeld. I have a few concerns. Number one, why is it that every time, that has to do in light with Mr. Benoit's comment, why is it that every time somebody opposes, especially the opposition people, they oppose the appointment of somebody that Mr. Skerritt, recommends illegally or go behind under the table to push somebody through an appointment that he wants? Why is it that every time people opposes it, people like Al Benoit and the others think that you don't like the person? Mr. Benoit, I'm sure it has nothing to do with Miss Joseph personally. I think it has more to do with the way in which it was done. Because listening to Mr. Hillary and Mr. James, it sounds like they like somebody, they agreed, and here comes Mr. Skerritt just pushing whoever he wants, not putting anything to a vote. And then you have the president of the Commonwealth of Dominica also just pushing forth, and they're just supposed to say, okay. It has nothing to do with her personally. It has to do with, I'm thinking that this process is also under the democratic right? It's also a democracy in Dominica still, even in that process. So I'm thinking that is what they have the problem with. It's not her personally. I'm sure it has nothing to do with her. You understand? My other problem, I listened to one of them, either Mr. James or Mr. Hillary said, oh, the Prime Minister promised. He promised that he gonna bring things to Parliament. Come on, at this stage in the game, you guys still looking for, even listening when Scary tell all he promised. This man have shown all the time, and I will always say time and time again who he is. He cannot keep his word. And if there's anything a person has, is their word. And if you keep time and time and time again going against your word, that tells the person that you are. You know, it's just so sickening to me to listen to these grown folks, especially when this man showing all you who he is. Why all you not believe in him? This man cannot be trusted. The only time all you should be surprised is when Scary do what he says, not when he doesn't do what he does. He doesn't do what he's supposed to do. You know, it's just amazing to me. And I listen to you guys saying, "Oh, he promised." The bus driver said the same thing. He promised. The truckers, he promised. Mr. Skerritt always promises something, but does he bring it forth? He promised the Dominican public a lot of things. And is it happening? No. He promised he's going to leave office. Is it happening? No. Stop looking at what this man said. Take this man's word with a grain of salt. When he does what he's supposed to do, when he does what he actually say he's going to, that is when you be surprised. You understand? So again, I will go back to Miss Anthea. I'm just hoping that sensibility and the woman of God that she is, that will prevail. You know, and hopefully she will shock people. She will shock you guys, and she might end up being the best commissioner, whatever it is, position that she has. She might end up being the best, because I know God is in control. God is in control in Dominica, and he's not gonna make things happen, and it's not gonna take him by surprise when things happen. Who knows, Mr. James, Mr. Hillary? All you have no choice. Just see what she gives. If she's not doing her job, then all you have to do. All you can speak. Well, you know, at this point, it's already done. There's nothing that can be done. You can ask people to heat the streets from January to December. We all know they ain't gonna come. So, you know, let's see what she gives. Let's just hope that common sense prevail, and maybe she might be the voice of reason. Maybe she might be the breath of fresh air that you guys need. All right, thank you, man.
My drug addicts. I'm trying my best to mind my business. Don't speak, just be a hypocrite.
49. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes.
Love life, life will enjoy. Mr. Bell, the blessings on your family, sir.
Blessings to you.
Thanks. Matt, the problem I can clearly see, Matt, in Dominica, is that a lot of people, their lives have been controlled by fear. And as I said, most of the time, the lack of sacrifice, the lack of principle, the lack of selflessness, all that have to do to really prevent you from being that way, it really has to do with fear. The Nassifs and the Astafans are not feeling the strain, Matt. Why? They're passport wheelers and dealers, the Lawrences and the Duncans and all of them. But Matt, the collective commonality, which is poverty, that's supposed to move us simultaneously, all of us together, that is the reality of the situation. Martin Kinsey, I whisper in your ear, Matt, you see the same young people we are claiming that are not interested in Dominica?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't come to our political party and blah, blah, blah. Matt, I'm talking to a lot of young men, and they always say, "Boy, blessings, boss, we're not in all the talking. Too much talk, action, we want, boss." And I saw the perfect storm being created by the truckers. And voluntarily, it was dissipated, Matt, by who? The president and the vice president or whoever went to see Skerritt. If he was the one who requested them to see him, they should have cursed him on the phone and tell him, find yourself here or send a representative. We're not coming to you, because we are not your little children. Enough is enough. The man is a man who is holding the testicles of Dominicans, men particularly. They say women have to, Matt, that's true, no? A lot of women have testicles, so I gotta be careful. And we want to play softball with the man. Matt Dominica needs, Matt, they say 99 days for the thief and 1 day for the watchman. Now is our day. Now is our day. Shut down the arteries to the heart. Shut down the arteries that are connected to the heart. Make Skerrit know Dominicans run Dominica, not Anthony Hayden, Jack Gadakan, Skerrit and the Chinese. Matt, I tell you, yesterday it was so shameful to see this long truck entering the port while coasters and other small buses and tourists walking, Matt, trying to maneuver through that little entrance there, Matt. Matt, you have cranes, you have containers, you have accidents. Because you know this kind of big, how many tons of cement that in those bags, Matt, have to be lifted by a crane.
Yep.
You know, to load those trucks there. You can do that with a forklift. And you have tourists moving, maneuvering through the same port, Matt. And it seems like Skerrit, if all his stock is not in control of anything, Matt, the Chinese, Jack Gadakan and Anthony Hayden, these are the people that run Dominica and Dominican men, particularly the young men of Dominica, have to say, nah, I can sit down and smoke all day, drink all day, and just have real life. It's like, see, whoa, me, my, I do. No, but we have to fight to defend this piece of rock. Anywhere you go, you're a foreigner, you're an alien. They even refer to you as an alien. You know, that's a term in immigration and thing, illegal aliens and all of that. And Dominica, where you was born and raised, you have a criminal inviting foreigners to help him to beat us down, to dumb us down, have us impoverished, have us disempowered like a turtle on its back. That's where we are, you know. We may not have realized that, Matt, but that's where we are. Matt, I'm hearing what happened to little boys and girls, little school children, boys and girls, by politicians, police, and everybody. It's Mac time, the Mac time. And parents, as most of them are young, they have to turn a blind eye to what is happening. Let me give thanks to Wayne and Hillary for the effort, for the sacrifices. I listened yesterday. Madam saying, I do not want to make somebody feel I have something personal against Duncan. Duncan seems to be a nice person, seems. And he's a likable person. Duncan is not a man that pass and watch you like, you know. Duncan is a nice person. But Duncan, as I said, life and leadership is about sacrifice, selflessness, and principle, grounded on the foundation of courage. And say, let me tell you something. Whatever it is, cancer, that's what you have to do, stand up and fight against it. Diabetes, enemies, politicians, bad weather, whatever the case may be, a marital relationship or some kind of domestic problem going wrong, you have to stand up and say, let me tell you something. And you have to do what you have to do. That's what life is all about. We cannot just say, oh, what if they shoot me? Okay, yes. Hurricane coming and killing us. Cancer coming and killing us. COVID coming and killing us. Diabetes, high blood pressure. What that is not killing us? The very foods or so-called foods we are going in the supermarkets and buy. They are laced with all kinds of chemicals and GMOs and all kind of things. Killing us. Not even gradually, rapidly. And in closing, Matt, how can a whole country be dying rapidly to save one man and his family? And no one man want to die to save a whole country and all its citizens. Something drastic has to be done. This one day is for us. The 99 days, the criminals have taken it. And Matt, in closing, party in Labour, Matt, you remember that thing, Matthew Walters? I think it's Tuesday, August 8th, 2004. Matt, that needs to be dissected from page 2 to page 3. I don't want to overblow Mr. Lincoln. Mr. Lincoln have done more than his fair share and is still doing. But somebody needs to dissect that, Matt, and listen to what Matthew Walters is saying or suggesting. And jokingly, Couple months ago, I was talking about Vince for Prime Minister, in that deep into the bowels of the Labour Party. But I just created a story through intuition, because and the unbelievability with what that is going on within the country and this criminal enterprise, the Dominican Lethal Party, and nobody saying nothing. So Vince Henderson, but start to be shameful. Start to be shameful, Vince. Vince, you're more educated, you're more intelligent than Skerrit by far. I can listen to people, although I am not intelligent, I'm not educated, but I can clearly discern, differentiate, and know I'm listening to an intelligent person. And Vince, you are an intelligent person. You're telling me a no contest after 13 years without a delegates conference within the constitution of the Dominican Labour Party then. So they kill Ruzi, they kill Pierre Charles, they kill Ed Regis, and they're still killing a baby and her mother disappear, can disappear. I don't know, his drink or the drink in the blood and it in the flesh. Oh, you telling me I'm like Vince staying there and nobody in the party cannot tell Vince, no, we behind you, we're pushing you, we have to push that man out. Criminals. Blessing.
958 blessings. Very, very careful with your statements. Hello. Yes.
Mato.
Yes.
Good morning to you.
Yes.
Good morning to your listeners, both in Dominica and in the diaspora. In a few days' time, you will celebrate your birthday. So I'm wishing you happy birthday in advance. Yeah. Also, I'm still debating amongst a Tesla, a yacht, a Lamborghini, and an airplane for you. So I'm still in debate for that. But on a more serious note, Matt, you had two electoral officers with you yesterday, electoral commissioners with you, Wayne James and Hillary Shillingford. Matt, I cannot say I will jump and and praise them. Matt, this is not the objective, but I will thank them for coming on air and clear a little bit of the misconception that the Dominican people have, especially those who is against the malgovernance of the DLP. Matt, it's been years that we know for a fact that elections is not free and fair, Matt. We also know that a lot of people have been bribed. A lot of people are intimidated by the DLP, Matt. And there's so much, Matt, negativity concerning our election process, Matt. We've paid Byron almost $750,000 to put us a draft, Matt, for proper electoral reform policies, which we've not seen. Also, Skerrit said that he's going to Parliament to have a new set of electoral propositions put together for the people. We have not seen that. And there is rumor that elections will be on the 6th of December, Matt. We are almost in November. Matt, the onus now rests on both Hillary Shillingford and Wayne James, Matt, as the two people responsible for proper electoral reform policies. I believe they should sound the alarm and get Dominicans on the road to shut the country down from south to north, east to west, Matt. Everyone, Matt, both Hillary Shillingford and Wayne James. There's no more talking and no more expectations from Skerrit, unless if you all want Skerrit to reach there as any dictator, 90 years as Papa Doc, right? We need to get rid of this DLP non-governance, Matt. It's no question of when, why, and how. It's now. Matt, it's the only way. Skerrit has reached his limits. There is nothing he can do. They've no foresight. They have, in the 24 years, Matt, there is nothing significant we can say that was done by the DLP, Matt. And there is nothing for us to clap our hands about. A government is put in there to work for the people, not against the people. And so far, we have seen them against the people. Even the ministers of the different constituencies, Matt, where are they? How do they help the people? We are still bad in our economics, Matt. We have a very high rate of poverty, Matt. So there is a lot of mishaps happening with the DLP, Matt. And it's time for them to vacate and to say that, let's give it a day. We've got to go, Matt. Secondly, if Hillary Shillingford is concerned that he will not sell as much watermelons in one day at two EC a piece, Matt, I will pay for that personally. I will pay Hillary for the day that he would have sold maybe 50 watermelons at 2 pieces. Same goes for Wayne James. If you think shutting your shop down and closing the country will cost you 1,000 EC dollars, because based on the economy, I don't think you are making more than $1,000 a day, maybe even less, Matt. I will pay him 1,000 EC dollars, Matt, for his day. Let me see if they'll take that challenge, Matt, and shut that country down. Eventually, people will come aboard, the truckers, the bus drivers, Matt, school children, homeowners, Matt, people who cannot pay their bills and their mortgage, and the banks are visiting them and threatening them, Matt. So this has to stop. Wayne and Hillary, let me see if you all will take that challenge. Shut the country down. There is no if, when, and if Scary. There is no changing. We need a change now. And the change is for Scary to get out of the malgovernance and let good governance prevail, Matt, by having an interim government. And then we will go through our proper electoral reform processes. Then we will have proper elections, Matt. But for now, this is chaos, and we need to shut the country down. Thank you.
All right, it's Alex here from Switzerland, offering to pay for a day the commissioners to lead. 10:03 is the morning time. Let's take a break. Interesting comments there. Come back after this.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
Bloombox brings you our new branch right in the heart of Roseau to make things even easier for you to get all the best products we have in stock. Bloombox Roseau, on the corner of Hanover Street and Dewey Lane, next to Wichich Wholesale, the same block as Western Union. Bloombox Roseau, a farmer's favorite place. New location, same great products for all your planting needs. We're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call us at 235-3483. Bloombox, your one-stop shop for everything that grows. Let's bloom together.
Auto Trade introduces our newest line of lubricants, Valvoline, America's first branded motor oil. Valvoline has been formulating and improving motor oil longer than any other brand. From the world's first racing oil to the world's first synthetic blend, Valvoline has been trusted in engines around the world for over 150 years. Make the switch today. Choose Valvoline, the original motor oil. At Auto Trade, we only recommend the best in quality because at Auto Trade, it's more than a vehicle. It's a relationship. Valvoline Lubricants, now distributed by Auto Trade.
It's good. It's good. It's back. The Kentucky Sandwich from KFC is back. Good. The Kentucky Sandwich, only $16.50. Want more? Then get a combo with sandwich, regular fries, and regular soda for $23. Feel happy to save at KFC. KFC, it's good.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
If your home and business is in a mess, you need a cleaning agent that not you can. Disinfect, deodorize, you sanitize. Long-lasting fragrance refreshes your entire home. If you're thinking of cleaning chrome and porcelain in a polyester and stainless steel, you need a cleaning agent that keeps it real and that's fast. Clean with the best. Not forgetting your clothes, sheets, and all fabrics. Tender fabrics often has the extreme power. Like iron in easier and faster, so clean. Clean with the best. This is clean. And there and back. Floors and walls. Clean with the best. On the left. Kitchen towels and cabinets. Countertops and sinks. It's the clean tender and that distributed by Fine Foods and sold island-wide.
Introducing the new Caribbean paint from Do It Center. Duron paint and wall covering from Do It Best Quality Paint, giving you the same great interior and exterior quality, the same color matching technology at an incredible price. Available in flat, satin, and semi-gloss. Visit us on Goodwill Road or call our paint department at 255-6896. Do It Center, your partner in home improvement.
No doubt that the commissioners are ready to lead. At this point, as it relates to electoral reform, I heard Mr. Hillary and Wayne James speaking yesterday with a passion.
Matt, one of the main things that we addressed on was the fact that one judge can sit on elections petition. Election petition doesn't have to do with the entire government alone. It could do with one seat. And one seat can make or break the government. If there's a 10-10, the 11th seat can be in question. And if you have one corrupt judge, you offer him $5 million to return your decision, even $1 million. A judge doesn't go home with $1 million easily. He would be prepared to give you the decision that you asked for to get his $5 million. And in our present law, there's no room for appeal on the petition. And that was competently submitted, Wayne James. Yeah? We dealt with that competently. And Lennox Lawrence stood up and said, oh, it is the Chief Justice that make the laws of petition, and we shouldn't touch it. My exact word was utter garbage. We're not talking about the rules of the petition. A country have a right to decide on its final appellate court at any time, whether for a referendum or whether for the government taking a position, like we did with the CCJ. So I'm asking that we change the rules, the laws, that one judge cannot decide on the democracy of our country. We may meet a corrupt judge. We saw the kind of old mess that have been taking place in our courts in Dominica. All of us know it, Matt. So I suggested that we either go from the one judge to appeal to the Court of Appeal as our final court, or we put off the one judge if it's just one matter we want to hear and send it straight to the appeals court, where you have 3 judges sitting on it. So it's harder to corrupt 3 judges than one judge. The next option was to go direct to the CCJ. If you don't want to have any appeal, you go direct to the CCJ, where 5 judges will be sitting. So your decision can be digested and be satisfied. When you have one judge, he may be the most corrupt judge. He may be paid to bring back a decision. These guys fight that down. I submitted it. We've heard nothing about it. Matt, do you believe it is fair for one judge to sit? Look at that. for a basic case like battery, any little case in Dominica, you can go up to the CVG.
Mm-hmm.
To decide who runs the damn country. You stop in at a high court, not even court of appeal,
Makes
on
sense.
such a major decision.
Makes sense.
That is a false strategy. The party in power can always dictate who wins a petition. And stop that. And Dominicans just come out. That is enough to go on the street for when you know you have a corrupt administration. And I'm saying to Dominicans, when you are called upon, and if when it's prepared, next time we come there, we give detail as to what transpired, and we call on the people, and we can lead them in that fight to go out there and tell Roosevelt Scary, if he appoints this woman, that Dominicans are going to shut down the country. And that is what is supposed to be happening.
Wayne, your final comment?
I want to end this program by calling on the young people of Dominica, and in particular the ghetto youths of Dominica. I know, I'm certain, that the young people of Dominica is ready to take back this country. They understand where the future is right now, and they are prepared. But what they require is leadership. They want somebody to step up and lead. And as Hillary Shillingford has indicated, Hillary Shillingford and I, we have led, and we are continuing to lead by bringing the information to them. We want to say to them, we will not let you all down. We are prepared to continue fighting on behalf of the young people of Dominica, because I'm convinced that it's the young people of Dominica that is going to take this country to the next level. Thank you for the opportunity, Matt.
I'll come back anytime soon. I suspect you might have to come back sooner than I expect. Take care now, guys. All right, Dominica, thank you. 10:14 is the morning time. And yes, let's take a few phone calls. Yes, hello, yes?
Matt, good morning to you, Matt.
To you, sir.
Yeah, good morning to all of the listeners, Matt. Matt, if I say, right, that it was said by the commissioners that the entire department had came to an agreement that Mr. Anthony would continue to work with them, would I be right, Matt?
Repeat that question again.
If I said today that it was said by the commissioner, you are from yesterday, that the department had took a decision that Mr. Anthony, who is the guy who used to work with them, will continue to work with them, would I be correct?
I'm still a little confused. I'm still
but I don't want to confuse you.
Read the question.
I want to make sure that I'm asking you, if I, Tony Caesar, said to you or to anybody that yesterday the commissioners you had on the program said that they at the commission had took a decision that Mr. Anthony, whatever is his name, would continue to work with them there. Isn't that true?
Yes, he did take a decision to continue with work with them. And that I agree with, yes.
And they also said that it went to the Prime Minister, and one of the commissioners came back and told them that the Prime Minister agreed that he'll take it to Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, I send all this to tell you, when people call and they say the Prime Minister is deceptive, you must not tell them, ask them why, because Matt, he knew maybe that time the man wasn't 55 years yet, you know. But he letting time run. He's a deceiver, Matt. This is why you cannot trust people like that. No, when I say I cannot trust him and I'm afraid for the country, you keep on asking me why I'm asking it. But let me ask you a question to run from your program. Mr. Prime Minister, will Dominicans lose their lives? Are you hearing me, sir? At the expense of you stay in power? Thank you, Matt.
All right, I wish you had the opportunity to ask him directly sometime. It's 10:17 in the morning. Let's take this voice note.
Matt, morning to you, Matt. Morning to your listeners. Matt, again, this morning, I really enjoy listening to your program, Matt. I think your program is a very interactive program where people voicing out. I mean, I must give commendation to Lennon for his words of encouragement, Matt. And, people are fed up with this guy, Matt. Matt, based on what we're hearing, that this guy is trying to have another election after 2 years, Matt. And we wondering whether the United Workers' Party should take part in that election, Matt. But first thing first, the last time you had some independent candidate, this time around, Matt, that dumb shit should not happen, Matt. They should never allow Roosevelt Scary and the Labour Party to even allow another election without proper electoral reform, Matt. There is no way that's supposed to go through. Again, Matt, is a revolution Dominica need. It is ripe now for something, because this guy cannot believe that this place belongs to he and his mother, he and his family. That, I mean, no, man, that is unacceptable.
Let's go back to the telephone. 10:18. Yes. Hello.
Good morning, Matthias Pelty Jr., my brother.
Hey, how you doing, my brother? Living every second.
living 1 second at a time, my brother. Moment after moment. That's what I believe,
All right, my brother. How you doing?
I good to go, man. Nice. My belly big, like a cushion, Joe.
Big belly season.
Big belly season, man. It's my season, Joe. Matt, why they had Mr. Hillary Shillingford and
Wayne James.
Mr. Wayne James on yesterday. They said something that kind of caught my attention, and I wanted to ask a question, but how it is in the program. So I don't know if you could call them and ask them the question after I said it to you. They said that two things. They said that the councillors, okay, they came to two decisions. One is the re-registration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and all of them agreed upon that, and the ID cards, and all of them agreed on that, and they said that it should not be done before. It should have to be done before
election. Any
election.
any election. Yes, that was said.
Yes, and my question was, if the powers that be, maybe the powers decide, okay, we're gonna disregard that and call it an election, what would be the councillors' recourse? What can they do about that? That is my question. I don't know if you could call them and ask them a question for me, please, because it's very important. Because they say they deliberately say that it has to be done before any election can call in Dominica.
But I heard the Prime Minister saying, and maybe that might answer your question, that yes, the commissioners can make their recommendations, but they can just make a recommendation. It doesn't mean that he has to accept any recommendation.
Then why do we have a commission?
That's a very important question.
Yeah, we shouldn't have a commission. If the commission the commission was placed there to put things in place for election, they the one that's supposed to be controlling election. That's why according to what Hillary and Mr. James was in there, that's why the position of the controller of the election committee is so important. Because that commission is supposed to be a very, 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 that's supposed to be the
independent. Yes, it should be very independent.
It's supposed to be independent, and that's supposed to be the glue that holds our election together. And if they have no power, then we should disband that, and just dissolve it, and then just let people do whatever they want to do.
Yes, because I heard the Prime Minister saying recently, and I'm sure others would agree with me. He said, yes, they can make a recommendation. Doesn't mean that he has to accept any recommendation So your question is a very relevant one. So then what's the use of the commission then? Hello, talk to me on the telephone. I'm trying to see if I can get Mr. Hillary Schlifford to speak to that again. On the telephone, are you there? Yes?
Yeah, man, good morning, how you doing?
Good morning to you, sir.
Everything's okay, enjoying your season.
Yes, enjoying my season. How are you?
Madam, ask a question. Isn't the Electoral Commission an independent body?
It should be independent, but based on the recent comments there I heard from Mr. Scarrett, I was, baffled as to why would he say that?
And because if there's a unanimous decision, shouldn't that decision take place? Shouldn't it be carried out
It should
in respect of what is going on?
It should.
So there you have Roosevelt Scarrett dictating and allowing himself to show that he's really the ruler of this country. Matt, I mean, this thing is crazy. Dominicans should see what is going on here now. If you have a committee such as the Electoral Commission, which is an independent body, which had a unanimous decision, meaning 2 of the opposition and 3 members, or if 2 members, or if 1 member on the government side agree with the other 2 members, that is a unanimous decision. Mm-hmm. And it must have gone through. Now, what I'm telling Dominicans, there can never, ever be any election in Dominica. So Dominicans don't have to understand or think about there's going to be an election. There cannot be no election in this country without electoral reform. And the people of Dominica must know that no election cannot take place in this country without electoral reform, where we have spent over $700,000 for such a transaction. There has been enough confrontation around the country, and that hasn't took place. So what we're saying, there shall be and there will never ever be any election in this country without true electoral reform, meaning voters' ID card and everything, fingerprints necessary for Dominicans. So there can never be an election without electoral reform. And what I'm saying that this country should be shut down anytime the Prime Minister called the day for election. That is the day that Dominicans should come out on the street in thousands and make sure that this never ever takes place. Well, I know it cannot take place in Margaret, so I'm just saying that for Dominicans. Thank you very much.
I'm going to take a quick break and we'll come back, Dominica, for words for our sponsors, from our sponsors.
A fresh market, when money don't count and your pocket don't hurt you. A fresh market, never disappointed. We are open 7 days a week with the top of the line products. Well stocked supermarket and pharmacy, health and beauty care, fresh produce and meats prepared daily, hot and cold kitchen, ready to go meals, sandwiches, salads, and desserts at your fingertips. Easy access, located on the bayfront, environment friendly, and our staff are approachable and ready to assist. Have you figured out who we are? You got it. Your one stop. Your money don't count and your pocket don't hurt you. Fresh market, never disappointed. Fresh market.
Mountaintop, natural spring water. All bottled water is not created equally. There is bottled water and then there is Mountaintop, natural spring water. Mountaintop natural spring water, sourced from healthy, mineral-rich Caribbean's natural spring. It is the best tasting water of all. It is also healthy with natural minerals. Some other bottled waters remove the natural minerals which we need to have a healthy balance, but Mountaintop keeps them for us, just as nature intends it to. So for great tasting and healthy bottled water, choose Mountaintop natural spring water. It is the best for you. Available at ESA Trading Limited in 500 ml, 1.5 liter, and 5 liter bottles. Retail and wholesale prices start from $1.95. ESA Trading Limited, making a difference for you.
All right, let's see if we can go back to the telephone at this time. It's 10:26 in the morning. Hello, yes?
Hey, Mr. President, morning.
Morning to you, sir.
Mr. President.
Yes?
This is evidence when people say that this woman was not fit to be the president. that is evidence that we were right. Because you cannot have a decision made under the Constitution by an independent body that operates under the Constitution, and they elected somebody, and the president who sits there and oversees things want to change things around. This is not right. It cannot be right. And that also tells you the person who is the chairman of the Electoral Commission is not fit and have not been fit, as we also tell the public, that to hold the position. This is wrong in all aspects. So I am saying to Dominican people, you can't sit back. Now, Matt, before I say that, another thing you have to study about Roosevelt Skerrit, which I understand clearly when you see this guy is stupid like Roosevelt Skerrit, the fact that the vote was from both sides of the floor in the commission, he don't want that person because you know why? He felt like UWP wanted that person, they voted for them. The person now have an obligation to be more neutral. He feels like the person would be neutral. But he needs somebody that the opposition is objecting to. You know what I'm saying? So he felt like that person now will be against the opposition because they didn't want them there. That's how he's operating. He don't want peace. All he wants is trouble. So we, the Dominican people, gonna bring the trouble. Because that's what he wants, and we are about to please Roosevelt Skerrit. We need to please Roosevelt Skerrit in Dominica and grant him his wishes. He is wishing for trouble. We need to give him trouble. We've been giving him too much different things. Let's give him the trouble he's been asking for. And that's what he's going to get. And I'll call you later. Ultra.
All right, thank you, my brother. You know, somebody just said, be careful about the trouble you're asking for. On the telephone, hello, 1029, yes?
Matt, good morning.
Morning to you, Lucille. How are you?
I'm better today.
Okay.
Matt, this thing there has hurt me so much to see what is happening to Dominica. Matt, everybody saying, let us heed the road. First of all, let me congratulate Mr. Matthew. It's a good presentation he made this morning. I always love to hear that man speak. Everybody saying we time for us to hit the gun. Matthew, see, if I was younger, I lead. Believe me, that's how I feel. Because we need to do something. Talking alone is not enough. Everybody saying that is not coming there, we will do that. But nobody is doing nothing. Dominican Levy, I stand up now. I will follow. Thank you.
Thank you, 449-309596. I've been saying since morning playing this calypso there. This one is a very moving calypso. I must speak, huh?
Ayo.
10:30 is the morning time. A little break here. We'll come back for your phone calls. I must speak. We'll come back for your phone calls after this one. Making the waves, huh?
My wife getting sick. She say, wait, don't speak. Let Lennox and them take care of this corrupt government. Leave it alone. We have our loan. Them boys dangerous.
Somebody sent me some pictures as to our local truckers on the port waiting for work.
Don't you know a man must do?
Let's see what happens sometime later in the day. I know document has been signed.
No matter the cost, our children won't be able to.
I'll pay a visit there to see what's going on there.
And that is why I must speak. I must speak.
If it's part of the contractual agreement there with the Prime Minister.
In Portsmouth, a mother cannot go out after dark and be sure of coming back. I must speak.
I must speak.
I must speak. Because to the Labour Party, Portsmouth don't exist, and the way they treat Opal rep like shit. Don't forget they crucified Jesus while we stood on the side and watched. That is why every man of Christian spirit has to stand up and speak. Ding, 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 ding. We forget. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. All the jobs in my land is the Chinese own. Banks foreclosing loans, ministers alone building homes. All my old school boys are out there on drugs. Some for business, some are drug addicts. I'm trying my best to mind my business. Don't speak, just be a hypocrite. But for this past few weeks, I've been walking and talking in my sleep. So that is why I must speak. Hey, 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 hey. I must speak. When I see how the police spread the crooks in our office, and it's ganja boys alone that face injustice, I must speak. Hey, 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 hey. I must speak. Because believe it or not, my brother, it's real. Cocaine not going cut, but ganja going to jail. If we don't defend our homeland, somebody always wants it. That is why every Dominican has to stand up and speak.
Let's go back to the telephone, 10:35, 25 to the hour. Hello, talk to me. Good morning.
My dear good brother, if I said anything that may have offended you or maybe the management.
I know. I'm saying that somebody called very concerned about you referring to the prime minister and the government as criminal. That's the point that somebody was trying to make. Yes.
Is singular, Matt.
Okay.
The prime minister is singular. If I say those, I cannot be referring to the prime minister. How many people are scared now? So my apologies, Matt, for whatever, Matt how do you say electoral reform, Matt? That's the term?
Electoral reform, yes.
Matt, come on. So no wonder, pardon, blessings to you. The brother had to ask, so what's the use of the commission? If recommendations can be made by the commissioners, no matter how few, because they have three and they have two, Matt?
Free two.
Free two, Wayne and Hillary, and then you have the other passport sellers. So they do not wait on the pittance they're paying Wayne and Hillary. So they're like as mercenaries, and to hell with what the relevance or effectiveness Wayne or Hillary have to say, whether relevant or whether effective. It doesn't matter. We have an agenda. We have an objective. So that's what that is happening, Matt. What's the use of the police force? What's the use of the police force? What's the use of the bar association? Matt, you play a thing about a pastor the other day talking about I must speak. You remember that one, Matt?
Yes, I think I remember. I have to go in the archives for this one. Yes.
Yeah, but Matt, I do not know, not now. But Matt, you need to resurrect that. And you should play I Must Speak from Wave, that is the California name, Matt.
Wave from Portsmouth.
And the pastor will be what? The Tide? If one is Wave and one is the Tide, or the Current, and they should be playing side by side. Matt, what needs to have done is to provoke the people to a point where people like me have no respect for him and no respect for the cluster of, I was about to say, criminals in the cabinet, but I will not say that. I am saying, Matt, I can recall, I'm old enough to remember not LeBlanc, but Patrick John to come way back down to Scary. But I've never listened to anybody be so brutally blatant in the insults and disrespect of a people. Matt, you pay over $700,000 to Byron, Matt, for a report pertaining to electoral reform. Matt, you shelf it.
And you just disrespected. That's a very good point there, Blessing. You disrespected.
Matt, that is the heights of disrespect, you know. That's what I'm saying. My brother, that's our little money you say we don't have, how we broke, and things are tough. Tell people to go and get the water container, not to buy fridge with ice dispenser. Matt, how convenient, eh, Matt? You tell us you tell us you and your wife and children, or you have insurance, or you can go overseas for medical care, and telling his supporters, hardcore supporters, what all you have. And Matt, what that would bring shivers up to anybody's spine that have an ounce of common sense, my brother. The people were clapping and blowing the red horns. They refuse or could not have differentiate from a commendation or insult, Matt, or an insult. And Matt, when I listen to that man through the years, Matt, so many things in the interest of time, let me narrow it down. I am seeing that man have no respect for the people of Dominica. So you start questioning the truckers and the worthiness of the trucks on the road. And everything that man just keeps tearing the people apart like he lives in a bubble. You know, he is invincible and he is immune to every and anything, Matt. Like there is not an end to his beginning. Matthew, have it, and I keep requesting it. Visey, blessings to you wherever you are. I'm not asking you to play it this morning, Matt. The House of Exile. You know, every time I listen to that song, I just watch and scare it, Matt. And I'm saying, whoa, how we look down on people and you think, well, in life there is no law of the end and the beginning and sowing and reaping. But Dominicans have to fight and tell Skerrit in the absence of electoral reform, boss. And I want to give thanks to Wayne and Hillary again for the commitment, the work, the sacrifice, the time. I want to give thanks to people like Lennox, you, and everybody that are trying to facilitate and accommodate the avenue where people can talk and express themselves. And Matt, when people exhaust that, you know what next that is happening, Matt? Revolution, war, killing, death. That is what Skerrit wants in Dominica, for him to be removed of center stage after years of abuse, Matt. 24 years for these criminals, Matt, and only 1 year or a few months we need to get them out by any means necessary. But we cannot allow that to persist. If we do, the Chinese will be kicking us and beating us, Anthony Hayden and them, all of them Chinese gather can buy, and they're buying, you know, Matt. We don't know. They're buying land all over the place. When you don't check, just like Barbados Gavi, when he said about my beach, about, you know, Jack, that is what's going to happen to us in Dominica. That beach is mine, I can live anytime. Bravo, that forest is mine, I can walk anytime. Well, no longer. They're undermining us. That's why I refer to the Chinese as termites, Matt. And they're there undermining. When we don't wake up, the house fall down. Brother, thank you.
All right, I think this is a song that Blessings always love hearing because it's a very true song. Mr. Jimmy Cliff Again, listen to the lyrics, huh?
There's a day of feasting and a day of farming. Sadness and a day of joy. You could see in the day of feasting. Life isn't just a little play like toy. So your day right when you least expect it. And now you feel like a fish on the water. So now you're wondering what's the matter.
Good morning to Cuba.
What happened to you? Now you're thinking how to start anew. Catching the straw. You wouldn't take heed. Everything creation must obey a law. It's true in what it is indeed.
10:43. My brother Frederick Barron, he loves this song too. YZ.
Never think you would have come down to. Remember, you got to reap what you sow. Simple truth, everybody knows. Do you want to answer that lie? What do you know from your last line? Do you want to answer that lie? What do you know from your last line?
10:44. Let's go back to the telephones. We have 16 more minutes. Hello, yes.
Morning to you and your listeners.
Morning to you, Johnson, Boston. How are you doing?
Johnson, Boston. Not bad at all. I want to compliment you for replaying what you had with Hillary and Wynne yesterday.
Yes,
I missed it.
we had to.
What I heard, they were very effective, and you can see the sincerity in the work that they have undertaken to do for Dominica and Dominicans, and therefore they need the support to continue to encourage them to do that work. Remember, Matt, when Sir Dennis Bryan was appointed to do that job, of which we paid $450,000 at the first instance, he told the Prime Minister he could not start his work until a commission is in place. All right? So with him, he got a speed of the commission to be in place. The opposition had already nominated the Hillary and Wynne. And first time I have seen the commission took their oath separately. You had Hillary and Wynne did their own, and then you had the three others did their own by the kind of president we had before this one, okay? And so forth. So Dennis Bryan said he have consulted oftenly with the commission, and the commission agreed with a lot of the recommendations that he made, and so forth. And this is why he felt he was on solid ground to make this recommendation that he made to the Prime Minister. There was either the commission are very dishonest and lacking in integrity, or the commission has another motive to destroy the country and destroy our electoral process. The commission is like the referee in the whole scheme of things when it comes to election. So they must favor no party, no independent contesting. They just have to do the work properly so that you can have a free and fair election. And that's what we're talking about and so forth. I wanted to ask, but I answered it quite well, that whether they made this recommendation to the president about Ian, but they said they did it long before Ian which arrived and so on, so that, which is good. And I don't understand if the president of our country is supposed to be a go-between, the political, the partisan free, and should be above that. So in other words, if the two sides or the three sides, whatever it is, cannot agree, then the president has a role to play to bring it together, to create harmony and unity in the society. But if the president is facilitating, bad politics and bad governance in the country, then obviously Kaipul will quasi-mark and so forth. And that is very sad for Dominica. And we have to
help me understand, Bosso. I think the Prime Minister just made a statement a few weeks back, and he was saying, yes, the commission or the commissioners can make a recommendation, but it doesn't mean that he has to accept it. How can you break it down for the people to understand, a little more, expound on this? Why would the Prime Minister make a statement like this? Why? And the commission should be an independent one, commissioners.
The Prime Minister hasn't taken the time as Prime Minister to study the Constitution and understand that the functionaries of the state must be cleared from partisan politics. And the commission, the reason why it is a commission is because, as I said, it's a go-between, like the referee. And they have to make recommendation to the minister responsible to take the matter to Parliament so that we can get at the end of it good laws passed in the Parliament to facilitate free and fair election. So the Prime Minister is wrong. He's absolutely wrong, and I would say he's politically arrogant, and he has demonstrated a high level of ignorance and shows that as if, well, we live in a one-man state that he can see anything. But so he's wrong. Before 1978, there was not a commission. We had a supervisor of election. So one person who used to be the person making the decisions and so on going around. He tried his utmost to do a fair job, but there was also challenges because in those days, how things happened was if your mother and your father is a freedomite or liberite, they associate you as a freedomite or a liberite. I mean, those days you have changed, you have different supporters in different homes and so forth. And in negotiating independent, the team that went to England saw the need for electoral commission, and that's when the electoral commission was born, and they gave all the reason why the electoral commission is important, because you take out all of this power in the hands of one person and put in a group of persons who would analyze and so on. This is why the president appointed the chairman, because the chairman is not supposed to be of any partisan influence. He's supposed to be the chairman, and he listened to the arguments on both sides, because the prime minister recommended two to the president to be appointed and the leader of the opposition two to be appointed. And he or she, whoever is the chairperson, will listen on both sides and take reasonable decision on behalf of the country to ensure that our election is free and fair. The reason why the Prime Minister says so is because you have old mass. You have bad characters. I mean, some of my friends, but I will say this when they have bad characters in our business election. And therefore the Prime Minister feels you can escape with this foolishness and so on. So it's either the Commission, as it stands, Matt, is very dishonest, lack of integrity, or have a clear motive to destroy democracy and election in this country. I don't want to say quickly, Matt, but we have invited Dominicans at home and those visiting to a meeting tomorrow afternoon at 5 p.m. at the PSU auditorium, and we'll discuss a number of areas as to where our country, after 46 years, have been, where we hope to go, and since in 4 years' time will be 50 years, what can we do as Dominicans at home and abroad to create a level of collaboration and cooperation to move our country to another level. Among the speakers who will speak there is Dr. Dale Dangodan will be able to speak. You will hear Senator Delbert. You will hear a voice clip from Attorney at Law Cara Shillingford and the rest of us, because the ERC is made up of a number of organizations, including political parties, and we're inviting Dominicans at home and Dominicans who have returned for our celebration to sit together and let us discuss in what we call a meet, great discourse, and socialize. And that is 5 p.m. tomorrow at the PSU auditorium. Thank you so much.
Can you name the head table again, Mr. Johnson Boston, please?
Well, the head table will include Dr. Dale Dangoden, who is a Dominican who lives outside, and there's a saying, you're odd, but your heart is in your country, and he's one of that persons with that example, so he'll be speaking there. And we'll have Senator Paris, who will be speaking, a young senator who have shown a level of,
Promise.
seriousness, and promise into our leadership and so forth. You have Paris for the Senate law. She's out of state, but she'll send a voice note to speak. Among the other speakers who will speak there from the various organizations, but we want to make it as a brief speech, not a whole afternoon of speeches, but to just give the essential thing, get people to ask questions and make comments. We'll record those things, and then we will have socialization. We'll play a few calypsos and a few Dominica folk songs and so forth, and have a good time, because we want to create a platform for seriousness and serious governance into our country. And I want to say, Mark, quickly, that the Prime Minister is provoking the country, and his supporters and advisors will say, do not provoke the country. We're in about election, and can you imagine we are in the heat of electoral reform, and the Prime Minister is talking about election. He was asked that question on Kyrie, and he said those who say that no more than him, but as far as he can say there is no election. But he's going around all kinds of little nausea and so forth. And I'm saying to the Prime Minister, please lose Bell's carrot to not provoke the country. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Stay on the line, Johnson. I need to talk to you for a minute. Stick around.
Electric and supplies. Visit Do It Center at the former J. Nassif Hardware location on Goodwill Road. Call us at 255-6890. Do it. Center.
Fresh Market Pharmacy has extended to customers with its new additional location at Best Price. 2 convenient locations on the Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard and at Best Price Riverbank. Fresh Market Pharmacy provides over-the-counter medication, health and personal care, prescription drugs, and natural supplements. Our experienced pharmacists and technicians provide the best quality services. Call 225-6883, 255-6875. WhatsApp 316-0310. Your prescription bill just got lowered.
The song that was chosen, it is because I felt deep within myself that Hillary Schillingford and myself has been buried alive. And that has happened during the time that we are fighting for the people of Dominica.
Okay.
And some of the very...
Mr. James, seeing that you guys don't want the lady there or don't like the lady, I don't know which one.
The range of King Juice is a 100% natural with no added.
Let's see if we can go back to the telephone, a little distraction there. Hello, talk to me, yes? Good morning, sorry. Yes?
Hello? Can I ask you a question?
You can ask me any question, sir. I don't have to answer, but you can ask me any question.
Okay. How many policemen are there in the force?
How many policemen? Maybe 500 plus, yes.
That divided by at least 20 or 18, that would be about how much? 500,
what you said?
The 5 something divided by the 21 constituencies would left us with how many to every constituency?
Let me see if I can run it. Let's 500 what? Go ahead again. 500.
Yeah, you said it's about 500 and something police force.
Right. Divided by who?
If you have to engage that number divided equally in every constituency, how many of them that would be in every constituency?
You say by 20, you said? 25 or 25, yes, 25 by every constituency.
My brother, we have to engage them because 25 policemen in the constituency is no policemen, and we have to engage them because every protest they cannot come and just want to work on the people for scary. So we have to take the bull by the horn. And if it means that we have to engage them in every constituency, then that's what it's going to be. Enough is enough. But
yes, go because I missed that point there. But go ahead. What you're saying as it relates to 25 to 20? Yes, 500.
No, yeah, because what I'm saying that we have to engage them in every constituency to make the amount.
I'm getting you. Yes, 25.
Yeah. and then we do what we have to do. Anyway, bro, have a blessed day.
All right. I hope this is not interpreted in the wrong way, my brother. 449-3095-9697. Yes. Hello, Dominica. We have 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes, and we'll come. We'll be back. We'll be back at 1 o'clock for Talk on the Block. I'm gonna wrap up this one with this one there from Spider. Look at how we come, boy. The big spider deceased. Let's go. Final phone call there for 60 seconds. Are you there? Yes?
Yeah, Matt, while you are, I got good. Let me tell you, I heard you say and said something earlier on
As it relates
about
to
a user.
Kensha Yuzeb. Oh, sorry about that. Kensha Yuzeb, yeah. I think her mom died somewhere in the River Civic area. Call me on my cell phone, okay? 225-6417. Something wrong. The telephone just didn't work there. So give me a call. My friend Kensha. See you and your family with deepest sympathies.
Still waiting for the visions to come. And to make my last wish, look the upper and ask, put a 5% tax on us. So we keep going down on the road to Sodom, and the whole country keeps going down slowly. Just look at NDC, banana industry. It's going down slowly. I feel little children dressed in red, crying and waving flag for the dead. I knew this would bring a curse on us. From the perfect things to getting worse. Remember the Holy Bible said, Yahweh takes no pleasure in the dead. If you think I like to go tomorrow, and I feel this stomach sure be a will tell you that abomination. That is not dumb, that is how we come. Day by day, we keep going down. Higher attention, that is how we come. Going on and we mourn, on the rain, on the sun. Yet it's far and farther we come. And unless we come out from this damn ignorance, our children just don't stand a chance. For we keep going down on the road to Sodom, and the whole country keeps going down slowly. We going down slowly. In immorality. We going down slowly. On the sun.
Easy Rock 95.1. More rock, less talk while you work. The latest soft rock, hit after hit. Tune into Easy Rock 95.1, the best mid-morning show in the right here on Q95, the big station. Easy Rock 95.1. More rock, less talk while you work. The latest soft rock, hit after hit. Tune into Easy Rock 95.1, the best mid-morning show in the right here on Q95, the big station.
Can you see where we are going? For our sake, I make the split. For the seeds of our going. Destroy peace and unity. And it's showing. It is growing. Peace and love in every language. Will remain one and the same. Following the word, no that to calling out your name. God is worthy and mighty.